What's going on, my fellow YouTubers? This is DumbOrange927, and here today, guys, I would like to show you a video. A very important video to me. This is my defense of the Halo franchise, not just Halo 5 or 4 and etc., the whole franchise, and not to mention what role it played for me and why I'm committing my channel to Halo. Now, this starts all the way back of a story. A story when I was real young. It started where, the way I got into Halo, I originally went over a friend's house. It was a neighbor's, and his older brother was a Halo fan. He played Halo, and he was playing through the Halo 3 campaign. And his little brother, which was my friend, and I just joined him. You know, we were doing split screen, and we had to take turns, obviously, but it was fun. And I got to play on this level. It was called the Storm on Halo 3. I remember it to this day. It's where you fight, it's the first level where you fight the Scarab in the anti-air gun. And I remember how memorable it was. It was amazing to me. I felt something. It felt like something amazing. And I felt so naive because I didn't know what was going on. And I miss being that naive, by the way, but it was a memorable experience. And I came to... Halo brought my interests. And, you know, I played more missions and stuff, and I began to fall in love with this series because it felt so fun to me. It felt like Star Wars before. It felt like it had such an enriching lore and story. And it felt like something memorable. You know, so then I came to fall in love with this game. This game that was good, you know? It was something good to me. And I came to love it. You know? And it was something that I began to really enjoy. So then, I wanted to play it. And unfortunately, though, I was real young at the time, so my parents wouldn't allow me because it was rated M. So I was just left watching videos and stuff, and then eventually I got Halo Wars because Halo Wars was rated T, but it was still fun. It was still great. And then eventually, at the end of 4th grade, not 4th grade, 3rd grade, sorry, or 4th, I don't remember which grade, I honestly can't remember, but I was kind of when I was real young, I used to kind of get bullied a lot because I was kind of going through a rough time. Many were saying, including, you know, that I wasn't maturing as fast as my fellow people in my grade, and I got made fun of. It wasn't fun for me, and I kind of just felt bad. And eventually, I tried to stay nice to everyone. I stayed nice to my teachers and stuff, and my teachers were really good people to me. And then eventually, at the end of 3rd or 4th grade, I forget, I think it was 3rd grade, to congratulate me, my father bought me an I already had an Xbox 360. He bought me Halo 3. And you know, I just played it non-stop. It was so fun to me. And he convinced my mom as well to get it a few days after. And I just played it non-stop. It was so fun. And I didn't even have Xbox Live at the time. So I was just playing through the campaign over and over. It was really fun. Halo 3's campaign was insanely fun. I feel so stupid not giving it #1 on my top 4 campaigns. Back in the day, I might remake the top Halo games again. I might remake them, one, because of some of my opinions have changed. Plus, you know, I wasn't really able to include Reach, ODST, and Wars. So I would really want to do that. So, but that's a video for another day. But the point is that I came to love the series. I didn't even need Xbox Live to fall in love with Halo. Because I could just remember playing the campaign over and over. And then I got Halo 1 Anniversary. The game that started it all. Well, remastered of the game that started it all. I played through that campaign and I came to love it. It felt a bit harder to me than Halo 3. But I appreciated the challenge. It just took me longer to beat the game. And then Halo included the Reach multiplayer, and I played Halo Reach's multiplayer, and I loved it. I loved it so much. It was really fun to me. You know, and you know, as things progressed, I eventually, prior to Halo 4, I actually I think it was a month before Halo 4's announcement, I showed my friend Dusk Under 9 Halo. I showed him the Halo Reach firefight, and he came to love it, and he also played some Halo 1 Anniversary mission with me, and he just came to love the series. It was just a really fun time. And he still preferred Call of Duty from the multiplayer standpoint, but he still enjoyed it. And I was real happy. I felt happy that I could relate. Now, Halo was a big fun time to me. And, you know, I just came to really enjoy the series. And and then in 2013, after Halo 4 in 2012, I originally loved it. At first I declared it was like the best Halo ever, which I did that with every new Halo I got. I did that with Halo 3, best game ever, Halo 1, best game ever, Halo Reach, best game ever. No, not Halo Reach, Halo 4. And then eventually though, after a while, I kind of realized, after playing Halo 3 and Reach more, I kind of realized there was something odd about Halo 4. You know, and then I came to realize it was kind of ripping off Call of Duty, and it just didn't feel like a Halo game. It didn't look like one, really. And it just didn't feel like one. And I was left disappointed. So then I bought Halo Reach in 2013, because I was hoping that would be a multiplayer experience that would be better for me than Halo 4. And it was, and I said Halo Reach was like the best game ever, which to this day, I still think that. So that's not just my mentality, that's literally, I literally think that. And, though I think I like Halo 3 better by its campaign and a lot of the balancing and stuff. I know Halo 3 is better as a Halo, but I just preferred Reach by how much fun I had with it. But, you know, now we go to Halo 5, and then people are just bringing on this game and copying Call of Duty, and this game just not feeling like Halo. And I want to show you why it's not copying Call of Duty or Destiny, at least not to the extent some people are trying to say. There are some things that they ripped off, but people literally try to say every ability and every mechanic is like ripped off. So this is my defense of why it's not. Okay, so this is the Call of Duty reveal trailer. Remember this? Well, okay, let's take a look at this. This says May 1st, 2014. And this playthrough is on January 2014. Okay, yes, we don't see any abilities, but take a look at this. Midship. Okay, let's take a look at this real quick. The map is much smaller. You see, part of creating abilities is that you have to be sure to, you know, you have to be able to create maps that are allowed to do stuff. You know, you have to create maps based off these abilities. That would take a while. Now take a look at this. This also doesn't have abilities, and this is May 21st. So meaning, it's not like 343 immediately snapped their fingers saying, oh, it's just ripping off from there. Otherwise, they would have tested it by then. Not to mention, if you look at Halo the Sprint, I don't have it available, unfortunately. There's an episode that takes place in May where they test out the ground pound. Now we're going to take a look at the Advanced Warfare trailer. Let's see if they actually have any of these abilities. This is the trailer from May 21st, and we'll see if they actually ripped off stuff. So let's take a look what abilities Advanced Warfare has. Okay, so we see some cool firefights here, cool gun battles, cool stuff. Double jump. Okay, that's the first ability we see right there. That is double jump. Okay, then we see these guys running again, double jump. Then we see all those dudes. And yeah, that's around it right now. We're waiting for more to come. So we see more stuff. We see again a double jump, and you know, that's all I see here. I don't get it. Why are people saying that this trailer, Halo 5 ripped off based off this trailer? Because this has nothing. This doesn't have any of these abilities that Advanced Warfare has. All it has is double jump by the looks of it. Okay, maybe a dash, but thruster pack in Halo existed since Halo 4, so that's not a thing. So really, to be honest, Advanced Warfare is not really showing anything that is showing that they're copying. It makes zero sense. You can't, it doesn't make sense. You know, like, you can't, like, because how does it? How does this make any sense? If this made any sense, you know, like, if it was a copy, they'd show these abilities on here. But they don't. All I see is double jump. That's the only ability I see on here, is double jump. That's all I see, is double jump. So, that just proves that this trailer has nothing that Halo 5 would possibly rip off. Now, this is in June 9th. This Halo 5 E3 2014. This is when they show off the beta. Okay? Let's take a look of what they got. We see cool Spartans here. We see all this junk. Now they're sprinting into the gravity lifts. Okay, let's take a look. Spartan Charge. We have Spartan Charge there, a clamber-like thing there, and ground pound. Three of the most controversial abilities. Now, I will come to admit, Clamber and Slide are probably a ripoff from other shooters, because those existed far before Advanced Warfare and Destiny. But that's not an excuse. And as for ADS, every shooter has it at that point, and even then they design it where it doesn't necessarily behave like a traditional ADS. You know, it zooms on the gun, it zooms on the HUD rather than your gun. Now, let's take a look at all these abilities again. So, these are all the abilities. Thruster Pack. This ability existed since Halo 4. This basically existed since Halo 4, and we saw in the Halo 5 teaser in a way. So that just proves that there is not a ripoff. Okay? So that has been out of the way. And then next, we have ground pound. We saw this in the teaser for E3. Again, since Call of Duty has not shown anything on May 1st based on a ground pound, this is original. Clamber. Okay, this is one of the things I will admit to. You know, it is clearly ripped off from COD, but think of actually how it could be useful, you know? Instead of having to rely on everything else, you're able to actually just climb up. It's more realistic that way. Now, Slide, yes, that's a ripoff as well, but It's not entirely necessary. Not to mention, I heard in theory, I don't know this for a fact, but I heard 343 might remove this in the final product. Now we have Charge. Again, we saw this in the Halo 5 teaser at E3. Okay? And Sprint. Sprint, again, like ADS, every shooter has it. Nothing really there that's like, oh my gosh, it's so bad. You know, every shooter has it. Plus, they balance it with a cool new mechanic, where it's connected to your shields. If you keep running, your shields won't recharge, and you'll eventually get killed by someone else. So you have to be careful when you're using it. You can't just sprint and hope for your shields to recharge while doing it. And last but not least, we have Smart Scope. This is probably the most controversial thing. Yes, is an ADS sort of ideal? Yes. But the main difference is that it's connected to your HUD, not your gun. Basically meaning that this is more of an aim down zoom rather than aim down sight. It's kind of confusing the way I say it, but it makes sense when you carefully look at it, you know? And also, in order to counter it, they have de-scoping. So basically, if you get shot at while using Smart Scope, you get de-scoped, which is like the traditional zoom. Now, this is the official multiplayer reveal trailer, where it actually shows off all the abilities for Advanced Warfare. This is on August 11th, 2014. That's when they come up with these new, so that's not when they came up with them, but that's when they revealed them. So, how could Halo 5 copy a game that didn't know would have all these abilities? How? You know, because it's clearly not. It's not a ripoff. Otherwise, you know, this multiplayer reveal trailer would have been out much earlier if Halo 5 copied it. Because they can't copy something that was released later after they came up with these abilities. Now, I'm not trying to theorize saying Advanced Warfare copied Halo 5. That's bullcrap. But, you know, it shows that Halo 5 did not rip off Advanced Warfare, because that makes 0 sense. You know, that just doesn't make sense. You know, you see August 11th. How could you possibly copy a game like that? You can't. You just can't. That's not how it works. You know? That's just not how it works. So, you know, that just proves my point that it's not ripping off Advanced Warfare. Now, many say, what about Destiny, considering that? Now, this is the official E3 trailer. This is the earliest thing I saw. And this was published on June 11th. And this is the earliest trailer that shows off all these abilities. All their new abilities. This is June 11th. This is after E3. So, again, it can't copy something that I didn't know was going to exist. You know, it just doesn't make sense. You can't say that it would just rip off a game like that. You know, it just won't. You know, I don't think 343 is going to be lucky enough to know what Bungie was doing before their trailers. So, you know, that's around it there. Now, many still try to pretend saying, oh, well, Halo's fast-paced gameplay and stuff, it's just copying. It's just, like, it's just designed to be like a Call of Duty. Or a Destiny. And here's my counter to that. The abilities, yes, though they have very similar traits, they are very much used very differently. COD, Destiny has them as supers. So with Destiny, you just get to use them once in a blue moon. So that's not really the big comparison. Advanced Warfare is. But think of it. Advanced Warfare, the abilities are an offensive abilities. It's no big secret. You're used them for a combat-based scenario. You're based to jump around, dash around, grand slam people, and do it all quick. Halo 5 is designed with these abilities to be more slow-paced, designed to be more defensive. Rather than using the slide mechanic, you know, for Halo, the slide mechanic is like you slide into cover faster, while with Advanced Warfare, it's designed to be a launching pad. You're meant to like slide and then double jump and then do like a grand slam or something. You know, that's what it's designed for. And, you know, that's the point. You know, but Halo 5's not designed with that. So it doesn't do that. So that proves it there. It proves that. So what I have just shown is evidence. It's not just evidence, it's proof why they didn't copy. And you have to consider this with Halo 5 as well. Even if the date was earlier than E3, or when they showed off these abilities, you have to consider this. Dusk Under 9's excuse, when we used to debate of whether or not Advanced Warfare would rip off Titanfall, was saying this. Well, one, they were different, but two, how could it rip off a game? How could these abilities be a rip off from another game just then if the whole game was built with those abilities in mind? Well, Halo 5 applies the same way. You can't... I heard the campaign environments are meant to take full advantage of these abilities, to sort of make them feel a bit more like larger and stuff, and the multiplayer maps are even designed with them. You wonder why Truth is so big compared to the previous midships? It's because they need these abilities. Even the earlier build of it was smaller because all there was then was sprint. So that's all it could be. You know, like, so, and not to mention, you have to consider this. Even though it didn't have the abilities, you slowly test stuff. You can't just do everything at once. So first you have to test out the core mechanics, which is probably what they were doing then. Then you gotta test out the weapons. And then you gotta test out the abilities themselves. Like, I think the abilities themselves get tested near last. And, you know, the only thing that... Because now, Halo 4, yes, Halo 4 was a ripoff of Call of Duty. That's factual, because, you know, Call of Duty existed a long time before Halo 4 even had this stuff. So that was a ripoff, obvious. But Halo 5 is not. Because there's nothing that it could possibly be a ripoff. There's no way it could. It just wouldn't make sense. So, you know, that's genuinely why it's not. Because if it was, all this crap would happen. And I don't understand why people tried to attack Halo 5 so much. They almost try to consume it with their hatred, trying to kill it like a parasite. Even though it's not meant to be like that. It's not meant to be terrible. By the way, excuse that gameplay with this thing there. Oh my gosh, please have that removed. But, you know, it's meant to sort of not be bad. It's not meant to ideally just be terrible. You know, Halo 5 is shooting for a different kind of ideal. And you have to consider this. The reason Halo 5 is doing all this, not just the copy, they're like, why are they just breaking the traditional ideal? First off, they're doing that. They're trying to change it up so it can appeal to a new kind of audience. You can't just... No offense, if you just keep it the same over and over and over, no one's gonna have an investment and huge interest with it. Because, you know, it's just gonna feel the same. People are gonna go like, I know what Halo's like. I know what's gonna appear in every game. So they have to change. They have to innovate. And to be honest, if these mobilities had any inspiration, it's probably from the one and only Titanfall. Because Titanfall was the first game with this mobility. It's not a copy because it's different, but it was inspired because Titanfall introduced these new mobilities in ideally. But even then, that's more but even then, I don't personally believe that. Halo 5 is its own game. It is not a Call of Duty. It is not a Destiny. It is its own game. And the changes it's made is meant to exist. They're not an accident, and they're not just made to bring in other people. They're made to introduce change. Because, you know, how can a game be good if it's just the same thing? If it's just the same game, if it would suffer the exact same issue Call of Duty used to. It's meant to be different. It's meant to feel like a different game in a particular way, but its heart. But I played the beta, and at its heart, it's still Halo. It's went through many changes, but it is not. But it is still a Halo game. It's not Call of Duty. It's not Destiny. It's a Halo game. And in fact, this game doesn't even feel like Halo 4 in many areas. In fact, in my personal opinion, by the game feel, it actually reminds me of a lot of Halo Reach. Just by these abilities, just by the way they behave, the chaotic feel. It feels like a sequel to Halo Reach by its multiplayer standpoint. And I personally have no problem with that. I love Halo Reach. I loved Halo Reach for quite a while. It is because that is a good Halo. And you know, that is why I love it. And that's why I think Halo 5 will be good. I think people keep trying to say, oh, Halo 5 is just going to be something that's just going to quickly be a distant memory. And I gotta say, if 343 knows what to do for anything, if 343 knows one thing, they know how to learn from their mistakes. You know, they listen to the fans. They gave us, and in case you say they don't, we demanded an H2A, Halo 2 Anniversary. We demanded Halo Wars 2. We demanded, even Halo 4 was a overall demand. We wanted to know what happened to our favorite hero. And 343 gave it to us. And plus they knew to expand Halo. Now they've done comics, TVs, shows on it. They're working on so many things. Some people have speculated they're even doing movies. And, you know, do you think something like this would be what Bungie ever did? The only film they ever did was Halo Legends, but even then, they disowned it. They said it wasn't truly remarked as a Halo. It was not canon, even though 343 found a way to make most of it canon. And, you know, 343 is listening to us. They are learning from their mistakes. Why? And so many people just give so much hatred to them. And not just that, but just Halo in general. They try to say Halo is nothing compared to Call of Duty or Battlefield. They just say it's a distant memory, a franchise that has long forever just been a relic. And I say no, it is not. It is more than that. It is more than just a simple great exclusive. It is one of the best franchises. To me, the best franchise in video game history. Because it innovates so much. It brings so many cool things. And it brought me into an enriching universe. A universe I cared about. A universe that I almost wish I really existed in. Just by how much lore there is. How much you can explore and see There's nothing in here that is terrible, because everything is designed for a purpose. Even Halo 4, partially their intentions to bring in COD fans from Halo 4 partially succeeded. I see many COD fans say Halo 4 was a good game. Even LEA got into Halo 4 a little bit. LEA, who's pro Call of Duty. In Dusk Under 9, Halo 4 was probably the main reason he got into Halos, because he probably felt so hostile. He felt so blinded with these other Halos, because it felt so different compared to the Call of Duties. He needed a bridging gap, and Halo 4 was that bridge. Now, yes, shouldn't they have done that with a spin-off Halo rather than a main Halo? Yes, but that's what Halo 5 is learning. 343 even said themselves, you can do that crazy Halo 4 thing once, but you don't want to repeat that. You want to get better and better at making a Halo game. And that just shows right there the brilliance of it. That just shows the care. And to be honest, everything I show means Halo 5 is Halo. It is the final... It is the evolution of Halo. It is the changes in it. But at its core, it's still a Halo game we loved. This is still the Halo game. This is still the Halo I would have gone into when I was little. This would still be the Halo that I would forever love. And I will stand by Halo. I will not abandon it. And I will sacrifice every breath of this channel to ensure Halo's success. Because this game is worth it to me. Because Halo left a part. It played a part of who I am today. And it is more than just a great exclusive. It is one of the best, arguably to me, the best first-person shooter ever made. I would like to spend the rest of this video showing you a legacy video for Halo. And I hope you enjoy it. It'll come up soon. So yeah, guys. Until then, I'll see you next time. This is Delma Orange 927, and peace out.